Hello, Assalamualaikum to everyone. Welcome to our show. My name is Muhammad Azim bin Mohamed Amjid, and today our topic is about problem faced by education student in group coursework. So now I would like to invite Muhammad Hanif to talk about the introduction about our topics.
Okay, now I want to continue about introduction. As a university student, the group work test project is inevitable. There are many problems faced as students when completing this test. The objective of this research is to study the opinion of the student about the coursework. Second is to study the awareness on how big this problem of coursework. Third is to study on the factor of the problem in coursework. Next, to study the effect the problem in coursework. And the last one is to determine the method on how to overcome the problem in coursework. The scope of this research is focused on around with HM students from 2 years to 4 years student. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Now you know all about our topics today. We already did a research about this problem. Therefore, I would like to invite Idil to talk about our findings.
And thank you, Mr. Azim, for passing me the baton on giving me the opportunity to discuss about finding. So before we go through the question or the result of our questionnaire, we have to go through the information of our respondent. By the way, the total respondent of our questionnaire is 67 UTHM students. So as you can see on the figure 1, you can see there is actually 44.8% for female that answer the question and 55.2% male that answer the question. And based from which faculty they came from, it's quite all-rounded. But the majority of them came from FKA student, ranging from 59.7% of our respondent is FKA student. As for the seniority of them, given that they are all experts, given the range of their seniority, most of our respondent is actually a third-year student. And meanwhile, there's only second year, giving around 13.4%, and the fourth year around 1.5%, somewhere around that. So before we start with the first question: how many individual coursework and how many group work they have in one semester. So most of them giving us the response of more than 5 and more than 6, more than 5 and more than 4 coursework given to them, individual and group work, as you can see on the figure below. So we go through. So as you can see, if we go through another question, how are you satisfied with your group members coursework? Majority of them answered maybe, which means maybe they are not answering the question quite seriously, or maybe they are not sure of how good their group members are. The maybe percentage is around 44.8%, meanwhile no, ranging from 13.4%, and yes at 41.8%. So we'll go through. So how many people does each respondent will go through, will have with the same people at the same coursework? Most of them say it's more than 5, but the majority of them say it's 3, minimum of 3. That is around 26.9%. That is the majority. And we go through, are they satisfied with their group members? Most of them rate their group members 4 out of 5. That is the majority. So it give us quite a good 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 view on the student that they say they are quite satisfied with. So before we go through the question of what negative attributes that students usually find when making a group work or group assignment, we go through what is the factors, what is the reason for their late submission of their coursework, and most of it giving the three top answer that the student pick is last minute work, uncooperative team members, and miscommunication. That is the three factors that affect the late submission. So we can look into consideration that maybe problems among group work or group members arise. So that's why they have a problem when submission coursework. So we go through another reason. So we go to the next question is what is the negative attributes that students usually find is that the three majors answer that is lazy, uncooperative, and no commitment. That is usually the top three negative attributes that the student find when doing group coursework. So we go to next question is, are the respondents stressed out with any of their group members? Majority of them said yes, ranging from 52.7% said yes. 62.7% said yes, and 37.3% said no. So we can conclude that this is actually a problem. Problems among group members when doing a coursework problem. We can conclude that there is a problem among their group members when doing coursework assignment together. So usually, how does the respondent rate their stress when doing group works with their members? Group members is usually there's two options that is quite similar. There's the rate of 3 out of 5 and 4 out of 5, meaning that the students, their stress rate is not that severe, but it's somewhere around in the middle. So it's not that bad, to be honest. And the next question is, does a respondent want to group up with the same group members? Most of them said yes. Most of them said no, ranging at 53.7%, and yes at 46.3%. So we can conclude that they are having a problem among each other. Alright, thank you.
Okay, after he did talk about our findings, let's see how Shaz can explain about the discussion.
Hello and good evening. I would like to talk about our discussion. So based on our findings here, so we can conclude that our respondents or our students are not satisfied with their groups. As you can see, their rating of their stress is about in level 3 and level 4, which is they are very stressed with their groups. So maybe there are negative attribute that they do not like, which is such as they got a lazy members, uncooperative, and no commitment in their assignments. So we must be aware about these situations. So therefore the problems we can verify it that this problem is very big and major for us that cannot. Jangan kat, biar aku kat sendiri. So so this problem is very. So this is okay.
Buat sini.
So this will be a major problem for us on doing the courseworks. So for our assignments, so there are some errors that we like to talk about, which is some of our respondents are maybe not too serious about our questionnaire. For example, we have findings. Our findings is about does it you specify with your group members or not? They say about maybe yes or maybe or yes, maybe, and the second one is yes. But the level of stress or their stress to their group members is yes. So there is not very balanced answer that we get. So in the future, we as a student should be much serious about this, because the problem that we face with uncommitment and lazy members is very, very big problems. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Now, we listen to Aiman that will talk about recommendation of this topic.
Hello and good evening. I'll be talking to you about recommendations of our study, which are research, for the future researchers who are interested in this topic of ours. Well, what can we recommend is that to not only do questionnaires in Google Form, but also to interview the respondents to get a clear and detailed data. For the second point is that to widen the scope. As for our research, most of the respondents are only from one faculty. So therefore, it is recommended for them to do this a little bit earlier and get most of the respondents throughout the whole UTHM. For the third point is that to not only do in one university, which is for us is UTHM, but maybe you could do in the state of Johor, which is in UTM or UITM. Fourth is to compare all the data collected to get more data and to compare it with a clear picture. Last but not least is to improve on the effects and factor to actually get a very clear illustration on the whole topic research. Thank you.
As a conclusion, this research is to study the problem faced by education students, and we focus this problem in group coursework. As we listened before from our friend, behavior problem is the big problem in group coursework, because problem in group coursework usually will have negative impact to assignment or the project. And we hope that we can increase the awareness about this problem among the education students. That's all from us. Thank you.